Friday. Welcome everybody. Sorry, I started there. It's been a
I
week
already got
off, so
the start.
I
Already got
know,
the
right? Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming on Strange Films Live. This is August Aguilar, your host, and I am joined by my good friend Johnny Zuko. And
Yo,
my
yo, yo,
man Johnny,
what up?
dude, glad to have you on. Thanks for your time tonight, man. It's been a while since we've actually caught up, dude. I mean, I know we follow each other
Yeah.
on social media for for a long time now, but just being able to sit here and talk with you, man, it's been. I think the last time we talked was really like this, like 2 years
I
ago
think
or
it was
something.
the first iteration of Strange Talks. And then before that, I had you on my show as well, talking
Yes,
about
sir.
Strange Films.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think even before that, we connected somehow through Facebook. I can't remember exactly
It was
the.
I think it was through Nick White because I think we are both
Yeah,
part of the Cinema Slice group
that's
chat
what's ringing a
or
bell.
the
Yeah.
group page. And then we linked up that way. And, we kind of just sparked up a friendship and just started talking and we hit it off. So.
Absolutely. That's where it's ringing a bell. The Cinema Slice, man. So shout out Nick White, man. You did some good stuff with Cinema Slice, connected some filmmakers there. Me and Johnny, you're a prime example, man. So Johnny, thanks for coming on again. Guys, we have a really fun show for you tonight because Johnny, he is he is a multimedia artist, I would say. I mean, I've known him for as far as his creative career the last few years. I mean, he's done hip hop music. He does a podcast, a really fun podcast, Bump in the Night podcast, horror films. He's a filmmaker as well. And we're gonna dive into a lot of those subjects, especially this filmmaking career, because I really want to get to know what he's up to, and he can kind of share his projects he's done before and coming up and whatnot too. But Johnny, for those who don't know, I always like to ask my guests who don't know you, just go ahead and give us your origin story, kind of how you got involved with filmmaking and your love of movies and all that good stuff, your creative career so far.
So I'm Johnny Zuko, and I am a kid of this place. It's long forgotten of the video store,
Oh,
Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, and the mom and pop shops, the DJ videos. Man, I fucking lived there. Can I cuss on here? I'm sorry, because I just
yeah,
sounded.
no worries. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
My bad. But I was there at the mom and pop shops like every other Friday with my moms and my stepdad, and they would always rent movies. Movies was always just kind of an escape for me. My dad, my real dad, had bought me musical instruments, like toy instruments, because he used to play guitar, and so he was trying to get me into music as well. My stepdad, my mom's, they always just got me in the movies because I think it was just easier for me just to plant me there and say, "Here, watch this," So I watched like Elm Street, Predator, and all that stuff, Monsters, The Witches, and I just fell in love with movies. Like I was like, man, you can do this. I'm like 6, 7 years old watching this stuff, and I'm like, and a lot of it goes over my head because when you're 6, 7 years old, you're not thinking about the themes or what they're saying. You're thinking about, oh, this looks cool. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And it wasn't until I want to say I grew up and started learning about Sam Raimi and what he had to do for Evil Dead. When I found out the backstory for Clerks for Kevin Smith, I think that right there really kicked me in the ass because one thing Kevin Smith says, and this is not something like disparaging him, is that he says, if I made Clerks, you can make Clerks too. You know what I mean? When you first
Yeah.
said that, there was like a big old laugh. But the more he said it, the laughs got quieter and quieter. And it starts to resonate with people because he's not saying it for a joke. He's saying it because he's trying to inspire you. He's like, look, man, I didn't know what I was doing. I just did it.
Hmm.
And that to me is like, okay, I want to get into film, but I didn't know how. And I'm like a teenager. So at this point, I'm doing music. I'm using, and so music was just kind of my focus, and that's all I've been doing. And then when I started branching out to music videos, I wanted to edit my music videos, but I didn't know how to shoot them because at the time we didn't have like really good phones to shoot them on. So I trusted other people with my music videos, and they came out okay, but they weren't what I was looking for. Because I'm a storyteller. When I do music, I'm a storyteller, and my songs are very story driven. So I want my videos to reflect that story. And so when I feel like those people just didn't do that, a buddy of mine hooked me up with a desktop with an editing program, and I just sat there one night and started editing, and just started cutting and putting things places, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not easy. It's a pain in the ass. It's much like beat making. Like I have no patience for beat making, but for some reason I can sit there and splice clips together and rearrange them and put sound and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, I can do this. Like I can do this. I'm not good, but I can do this. And with a lot more practice, I kept doing it and doing it. And I was eventually fortunate enough to receive a gift from a backer with cameras and an editing software, and ever since then I've been trying to do my own thing and just film and just edit and do all that, because to me that's what I want to do. I feel musically I think I said everything I needed to say, but I think I still have a lot more to say visually, because I don't
Hmm.
feel like I was able to say something visually striking to people, and I think I'm getting there. I did like maybe two, and I've written like two other shorts that I'm credited for. But again, like that's my next. I feel like that's the next logical step for me as an artist. Like
Right on.
I wanna be a director. So, and I'm learning how to direct on the fly. I have no experience. I never went to school for this. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah.
go to school for music or directing or whatever. I just did it.
Hey, man.
So
I mean, it's kind of going back to what you first said with Kevin Smith, saying, if he could make Clerks, anybody can. I mean, that's really the spirit of independent filmmaking. I mean, you don't like, I guess it used to be really hard to kind of just, make a film, but especially these days, it's a lot easier with like just shooting with your phone, or you can buy a cheap camera. Most you can find a lot of good, decent software for free to edit with. Even if you're just starting by yourself or with a couple good buddies, you can film, you can edit, you can direct. And that's where the spirit of independent filmmaking has taken off tremendously, because you and I mean, we're doing what we're doing, expressing ourselves visually, wanting to tell great stories, wanting to showcase our art in our own way and stuff like that. And it is a dream, it's a passion, and everything, man. So I'm happy to hear that you're kind of leaning more and more into the film and kind of trying to find your voice every time, because even for me when I first started, I went to school for it, I guess technically, like I did classes and I studied it and stuff like that, but my major was like communications, and they were really focusing on like broadcasting and news and stuff like that. It wasn't until like 2 years after I graduated, I just kind of ended up buying my own gear and just kind of relearning a lot of the stuff I kind of learned about in school through YouTube, and just doing it completely on my own. And every project has been like a learning experience. Take what you've done before, whether it's a success or if a fail, and you just learn from it and just keep going forward. And I think you become a better filmmaker after each project. So I'm happy to hear about that. And I want to dive into your filmmaking process, what you've got coming up, and all that stuff here in just a little bit. But kind of let's do a little bit more background on you, because you have done music before and you currently do some podcasting and whatnot. Dude, Johnny, I was listening to The Essence yesterday and today. No
nice,
joke, dude. I'm not lying, dude.
nice.
That's a great fucking album, dude. It's so good.
Thank you,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah, it's really, really, really good. I was impressed way back when I first listened to it and I talked to you about it, and I'm still impressed now listening to it. So I know
Thank you.
music's kind of on the back burner, like you said it's kind of, you said what you had to say with music and everything. But just touch on a little bit if you can for the audience, just so they know what I'm talking about with the essence and hip hop in general, like what it means to you and why you pursued it so much.
When I was growing up, I didn't have a voice. I didn't have a voice. I was always told to shut up, be in my place. You know what I mean? But then one day I turned on the TV and I saw Ice T, and he says, "New Jack Hustler," And then that was the thing that just sparked my mind. It's like, oh my God, like this he's not really talking to me, but he's talking to me because he's saying like, you need to get up and do something. You know what I mean? And so once I found my voice, and when I found my voice, I actually found it because I went to wrestling. I went to a wrestling academy, and they taught me about, being a leader and standing up for myself and being able to like draw that line and be confident in what you say. And I used a lot of those teachings from Wrestling Academy and I translate that to my music. And you hear it in my music. When you hear my older stuff, you don't hear me being like, I'm just like, I'm talking like this, and there's like no passion, and it's just like, and it's really hard to listen to. It's like, no, dude, no. So you just need to like go out and start talking. You know what I mean? So when I did the essence in the sense of like, I have something to say, and you're gonna listen to what I'm gonna say, whether you like it or not. Hip hop's always been around because that's just been my favorite genre. I grew up with Ice-T and Rakim in my ears. You know what I mean? Like those are two big influences in my music. And when I did the essence, I wrote the essence at a time where, one, I was getting cleaned. Two, I was transitioning out of music into podcasting. And then three, I was making a really big change in my personal life. And you hear it in that CD. And in that CD, I feel like I am the most happiest that I've done anything. And I think that is like my masterpiece, in my opinion. I think that is the best thing musically I have to offer, because I feel like I said everything I need to say, had everything you needed. It had your cruising song, it had your boom bap song, it had your conscious song, it had the reality song, it had all types of sound, but the sound was like old school New York, because I love old school New York hip hop. The 90s is like, I don't want to sound like an old head, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? But I just love that sound. I love those drums and the horns and the scratching. Like that, to me, that's hip hop. Like, but what hip hop really is rebellion. Hip hop is really about standing up to the man. Hip hop is about finding your voice. Hip hop is about having a voice for the voiceless. You know what I mean? You're speaking for a generation of kids out there, because a bunch of kids are feeling exactly just like you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say it is your responsibility, but artistically, it is your responsibility, because you reflect what's going on in the youth. You reflect what's going on. Like, yes, I understand the irony. I'm in my 30s, you know what I mean? So the essence is not really like a reflection of those kids, but it is a reflection of how hip hop changed and how it evolved or devolved, depending on your stance. I know a lot of cats out here saying hip hop sucks now because all these cats are not saying nothing. But you know what? That's fine, because that's what these kids want. That's what those kids like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's gonna take for like a Kendrick or a J. Cole to come out again and get these kids like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? There are cats just like that, but they're not the cats that are like little Zanny or 6ix9ine or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's what's hot right now, and people want that. Let them have it, because in the end, in the next 5 years, you're gonna have another artist that's gonna break the mold, and it's all gonna come back. So to me, the essence, the album, the essence, is really a reflection of, it's a love letter to hip hop. To 90s hip hop. Like that is my love letter to 90s hip hop, because I love 90s hip hop. I love Black Moon, Group Home, OC, Lord Finesse, Large Professor, AZ, Nas. Like I love that shit, man. Like I can't get enough of it. You know what I mean? Shit like that is constantly in rotation, and that's all I listen to. You know what I mean? So yes, I'm an old head, but I won't disrespect the youth and the kids out here that are doing it, because you know what? We did that shit too in the 90s, in the 2000s. You know what I mean? It's a circle, and we just got to break it. That's all it is.
Hell yeah, dude. Just a few things to point in on that before we move on is that yeah, like the essence really reminded me of old school hip hop, like front to back, man. It's got that sound to it, and you can hear it. I love all the features you have in it too. You got so many different artists on that, and it really
From all over the place. And
dude, like I was surprised. I'm still surprised, even re-listening to it now. Like I'm still surprised how many different people you've got like on throughout the entire album. It's insane.
yeah,
And that's really really cool. And the last thing I wanted to say was not only that you do speak really personally in it, like I like the track How Long. Like that's a really damn cool track, dude.
yeah.
But I
I
really
was
also love um like the monologues, like the intermissions in it, where you guys are talking about like whether it's you or somebody else on it, just talking about the impact of hip hop and like how important, like exactly what you just explained, as far as hitting the culture and the kids, and even you talk about even like politicians who are going to be going in the office later on who were founded on like who grew up with hip hop and stuff like that, and it's kind of up to them or maybe somehow some way it's just still in the back of their mind that it will come about their lives. But
Mhm.
it's just really fascinating. It's a really, really great album, and I think I put the Bandcamp link in the description. If I didn't, I'll put it in there after this.
Nice.
But I just want people to be able to listen to that because, dude, it's a really fascinating. It's a really great album, and I'm proud of you for it. And you saying that's your masterpiece as far as music goes, like I agree, dude. It's fantastic. I
Yeah.
listened to it twice in 2 days. I'll probably end up listening one more time before I put it back in the
I do think
rotation.
that is one of my better received albums like out here. And I think that's one of the people, like a lot of people say, man, like I can hear the growth in you. Yeah, and
Right.
that to me
Yeah.
is like, thank you. Like because there is a lot of growth in that. I had wrote that album back to back with the 27th Wonder. So after I was done with the 27th Wonder, I wrote the essence.
Nice.
And I just want to touch on how long I was having a really bad day, a really fucking bad day when I wrote
Okay.
that verse. And then I was having I was just in my feelings that day. And then I was just like, fuck that. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go in. And I did. And the outburst, I was actually having another bad day at work. And I just came in and I was like, fuck this. I'm angry. I put on the song and I started yelling into the microphone.
Wow.
Started yelling. And I was just like, fuck you. Like that is a real emotional outburst in that
Yeah.
song. Like especially toward
Oh,
the end,
wow.
that is a real outburst. That is a real outburst. And
Okay.
I look at that, and when I do if and when I do that music video, I'm gonna be on a soapbox the whole entire time because
Yeah.
that's what that song is. It's about being on your soapbox with a megaphone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool, dude. Yeah, anybody who is listening or comes back to check this out, please check out the Essence by Johnny Zuko. Like I said, it's gonna be in the link description. It's very much worth your time. It's very very good. All right, dude. So before we jump into the next segment of the show, let's talk about your Bump of the Night podcast, dude. So you're actually kind of involved with a few different podcasts, I believe, right? The Cinema Space
yeah.
and Bump of the Night. But let's talk about podcasting, man. I mean, what kind of got you into it, and what's your go to with it, and all that.
So podcasting, I kind of just fell into it. I had a web show called The Pulse, and it was basically me interviewing music artists. And it's basically it was kind of like a talk show,
Okay.
like I would get like different music artists from the area and talk about their music and their inspiration and stuff like that. And I did a show with Gabriel Bledo, and we just started talking and we hit it off and we started talking movies and comics and all this other stuff, right? And we were just riffing on it. And my buddy Danny had just recorded it. And I tell him, record everything. I don't care. Just record everything because you never know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Always record. You know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And so I went back and I watched that clip and I was like, damn, like maybe me and this dude could do a podcast on movies or comics or something. But his schedule wasn't kind of going in. And then my buddy Aaron was just starting a podcast called The Liquid Nerds, which is now Cinema Space. And then the people that were doing Liquid Nerds at first weren't exactly like reliable. So after a while, you get me a call, like, hey, dude, like, I want to do this show. Like, I need a host. Can you come out and do this? Like, yeah. Let me call my friend Paul, and then we'll do that. And so it was me, Paul, and Aaron. We did the first Cinema Space and the first Liquid Nerds. After a while, we got my buddy Caesar on, and then I've just been the group. And then I just kind of fell into it. You know what I mean? Like, I just fell into podcasting. And I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. I did that for about a year, 2 years. But in the meantime, I was in the background still trying to get my own show because, movie of the week is cool, but it's not what I want to do. Like, I have a lot of interests, as you know, I have a lot of interest,
Mhm.
wrestling, cartoons, stuff like that, retro shit. Like, I want to talk about a bunch of stuff. And I was trying to get a music podcast going in in another movie podcast. I think 3 years ago, my lady hooked me up with Elisa, who is Ginger Snap, and we started the Bump in the Night podcast 1428, which is a horror podcast. And ever since then, we've been going strong. We've been doing the podcast for 3 years. I think it'll be 3 years come in August, come next week, actually.
Nice.
And we just hit it off, and we have a lot in common. We like the same kind of movies. We both like the slasher genre, and I think that was one thing too, is because we both like slashers, and it's just like, I love slasher movies because I think slasher movies get a bad rap. And we just did that and just kept going. And then I came back to Cinema Space once we scaled down our Bump of the Night. Came back to Cinema Space, and then now I'm scaling back Cinema Space again because I am starting a new show with my buddy Romero Tudor called RNZ Live, which is us on Instagram every other Wednesday riffing on pop culture
Oh,
topics
cool.
and news and rankings and shit like that. So we're gonna go live next week, actually, RNZ, and so we usually just go on and just talk. Like, it's like basically, you get a couple beers, you have some buddies, you riff on some topics, and then you forget, oh, look at the time. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go.
right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm involved with 3 podcasts, and so I like talking about movies. I like talking about pop culture, just because it's fun and I want to entertain people. I want them to be entertained. That's all I want. Like, I don't want to wag the finger at people. I just want them to be entertained. And so that's why I kind of carry myself the way that I carry myself, because I try to, hey, let's have some fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna have fucking fun. If you're not gonna have fun, man, I'm gonna drag you, and then we're gonna have some fun.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool, man. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're involved in multiple different genres of podcasting and just kind of be able to, like you said, hang out with some buddies and be able to talk shop and stuff about that. Because essentially, I feel like most podcasters, that's what they want to do. Just hang out with their friends and
Yes.
talk about podcasting and stuff like that. So,
And those are the
so
podcasts too. Sorry not to cut you off, but those are the
you're
ones
good.
that I gravitate to.
Yeah.
Like, are the podcasts where you can tell they're friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? By the way they talk to each other, you can tell that they're friends. Like, other podcasts
Absolutely.
are like, you listen to it and there's something off. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it.
Right.
Like, what is this? And then you realize, oh, these people never met, and so, like, that's why. So they're working out their chemistry, and you're listening.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes those podcasts are fun because you can either hear the chemistry get worse or better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I hear you.
So
Yeah, me and my buddy Rodney, we're thinking about starting another show, just to kind of just to have like a open discussion about anything and just sit here and talk about whatever
yeah,
for hour or two, whatever. Because I've been gravitating towards a lot more podcasts like that, just having it's not really like an interview. It's not really like a general one discussion topic. It's just like they hang out, they bring up a few points, but it just kind of goes all over the place. And it's just like two people hanging out. And that's what I'm really wanting to get into. So me and Rodney, hopefully we can come up. We've been talking about it, so we might have something like that in the works as well. But yeah, dude, I really like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing your next show. And hopefully I can tune in on the live and just at least support you along the way. So all right, dude. Well, that sounds good. Let's dive in to the next segment of the show. So if you're familiar with the show, we play a game called Take It or Leave It. And essentially, I ask you 10 questions. Okay. 5 of them are going to be related to kind of what you do, what you like, and all that stuff. And the other 5 are going to be completely random. All you got to do is
Okay.
tell me if you take it or leave it. Why? The people who are watching, they can comment and let me know if they like it or take it or leave it as well. And I'll give you my answer as well. So, Johnny, are you ready for take it or leave it, man?
Let's go.
Boom. All right, my friend. Number one, take it or leave it, modern horror.
Take it.
Take it. All right.
Take it. Um, I feel every genre needs to evolve, and modern
Mhm.
horror has made the genre evolve for the better or for the worse. But without modern horror, we wouldn't have got movies like Hereditary or
Yeah.
Scream or Scream. But yeah, I mean, you would have to take that honestly.
Yeah.
To have the genre still stuck in the 80s, it wouldn't do any service to anyone.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it's really interesting to see how films are kind of being pushed in different boundaries and different ideas and interesting like storytelling and even directing and editing and stuff like that. I think it's really Hereditary was a really good example, like you said. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that now that I kind of feel like on the fence of artsy versus like great storytelling and
Yes.
scary, but like it's different. And like it's unfortunate to see there's so many haters now like for modern horror
People
storytelling.
are always gonna bitch about something online. It doesn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
matter. They don't even have to see the movie. They can just bitch about it.
yeah,
That's what pisses me off. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, you're complaining about a movie that you have not seen yet, and you made a fucking video 20 minutes too long talking about why you're not going to see it. Like, I don't care. Dude. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate, man, but I think people like us who just enjoy cinema in general and love to see it evolve and occasionally do a throwback, is great. I'm
Yeah.
very much a fan of modern horror. Got a couple questions from you for you from the audience. Cinema
Okay.
Scare Studios, he wants to know, what is your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie. I'm not going to say the obvious one because that's obvious, but I am going to say Hatchet from Adam Green. That is one of my favorite modern slasher movies.
Okay,
It blends horror and comedy so well that you're laughing 1 minute and then you're screaming the next. It is
nice.
so great. I love Adam Green. I wish he came back to directing films because I know we're going to touch on it in the next segment, but that is part of the inspiration of why I want to direct movies because of directors like that. And
I haven't
so, yeah,
seen Hatchet, dude.
you
Okay,
haven't
I'll
seen
check that
Hatchet?
out.
Yes,
No, dude, I haven't
please
seen that.
do. Please watch Hatchet.
All
That
right,
you're gonna
yeah.
have a blast, dude. You're gonna have a blast.
Okay, cool. That's cool. All right, that's good to know. That's a surprising answer too. Right on. So Frank Aguilar wants to know, what's the best zombie movie ever made, in your opinion, Johnny?
Ooh, ooh. Damn. I'm gonna be honest. The zombie genre is not really one of my favorite genres.
Yeah, yeah.
It really isn't. But when a zombie movie is done right, it is awesome. I actually have two, so I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say Dawn of the Dead.
Right on.
Just because of George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Just want to be clear. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. I do like
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's. Don't shoot me.
Right, right,
But
right.
George A. Romero's, I think that movie raised the stakes for special effects and just what it's trying to say about consumerism and capitalism. And I think that that movie is like the precursor to They Live, and it's so great. And
Okay.
then I got to give a shout out to Train to Busan. That is an amazing movie. That is an amazing movie. That ending had me crying. I was like, oh my god. If anyone has seen Train to Busan, and if you don't cry at that ending, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, get away from me because that is a heartbreaking ending. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, Train to Busan.
Okay, cool, dude. I saw that they're doing a remake of Train to Busan, like I think an
Yes,
American
it's
remake of it.
called Last Train to New York or something like that,
Oh
and it's
yeah, okay.
directed by I'm gonna butcher his name, Tomatera Tiji Turjo. He's an Indonesian director. He
Okay.
did May the Devil Take You,
Okay.
and that movie is the Indonesian version of Evil Dead.
Wow. Okay.
So if
Cool.
anyone can do Train to Busan justice, it's that guy.
All right.
I
Good
totally
deal.
trust that guy.
All right. Awesome. And Frank, he says good answer too. So I know he loves Dawn of
Nice.
the Dead. He loves Dawn of the Dead. So he's got some shirt.
I,
He
I
got his
feel like
shirts.
I feel like that's the only right answer.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Besides night, dawn.
Awesome, dude. All right, man. Number 2, take it or leave it. Key lime pie.
Leave it.
Leave it. All right. You're not a fan of the key lime pie.
I'm just not a fan of pie. I mean,
Pie in
certain kind of
general.
pie, but not key lime.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fair answer, man. That one's a hit or miss for everybody, I think. I like key lime. I like lemon pie. I like key lime pie. I like pie in general, so but yeah, I feel like it's more of an old person pie anyways.
Don't
All right,
tell that
dude.
to Mickey from the Natural Born Killers because that's what he eats.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He opens the
Awesome.
scene ordering a key lime pie.
Key lime pie, man. All right, Johnny is not a fan of key lime pie. Number 3, Johnny, take it or leave it. Streaming, because everything is either going straight to streaming or movie theaters. I know movie theaters are kind of like trying to get back into theater mode, but I think we're still going to have a hybrid of you can watch it at home versus going to theaters. So, but what do you think on streaming?
Mm, this one's a sore spot because of streaming, we don't have video stores anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's hard. I'm gonna say leave it if I could get the video stores back.
Okay, right on.
If I can get video stores back, because I love going to a video store on Friday night and seeing people wasted trying to rent a movie. I mean, that is great. Like, you ever go to a video store on a Tuesday, man, too, and just people watch? It is amazing. Because they're trying to figure out what they want to watch.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it if I can get video stores. That's all. So.
It's not like, I mean, it's surprising that there's not a resurgence of Blockbuster or something that's like, let's do it, because physical media is still a thing. It's like physical media is still like very much alive, man. People are still buying DVDs and Blu-rays and VHS and exactly, man. I mean, I still got my own collection upstairs. I still if I find something that I like, I still buy it so I can have it. Like the newer releases, I still buy them just because. And but it's hard for me because I do like the streaming as far as being able to watch some things at home, and because I just don't have a lot of time these days, with the kiddo running around. But I definitely enjoy the movie theater experience. I would never give that up or choose streaming over movie theaters or physical media. But I mean, I guess, yeah, right. Yeah. I guess for what it is these days, I gotta take it just because it does offer a lot of convenience and the comfort of your home. But yeah, man, physical media all the way, man, and movie theaters absolutely. So, but yeah, I hear you, man. Maybe one day they'll bring a retro video store, nearby.
I know, right?
We can visit it every Friday. All right, man. Number 4, take it or leave it. Bowling.
Surprisingly, take it.
All right, man. I'll take it too. I love bowling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at it, but I like going and bowling. Like, my stepdad used to work at a bowling alley, and I spent like a lot of my formative years at the bowling alley. And so, like, I've had a good experience, and when I can, I'll go bowl with some friends, drink, and have fun. So yeah. I think bowling gets a bad rap for whatever reason. People shit on bowling. I don't know why. Like, I understand people shitting on golf, but bowling? Come on, dude. Like, bowling. Get the fuck up out of here, man. Like, you never watched Kingpin? Huh?
Yeah.
Put some respect on that sport, yo. For real. Makes me look like an athlete, and I feel good about myself.
Oh, that's great, dude. That's great. I gotta make that as a clip, dude. Bowling, man. No, for real though. Bowling's fun, especially got a good group of people, hanging out, and they got good music playing. It's casual.
Especially if you get the bumpers. If you get the bumpers,
he's a pro, man. With the bumpers, he's a pro.
Yeah, just get the bumpers and ain't no one throwing gutters. Like, hell yeah, everyone feels good at the end of the night.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, man. I love it. All right, man. Number 5, take it or leave it. I know you're a big music connoisseur, I believe. So, what do you think about this artist, The Weeknd? Take it or leave it.
Take it. I actually like The Weeknd. I think
All right.
he's a throwback to late 90s R&B and early 2000s R&B with a modern sound, and I
Yeah.
really do like that. And I think he has like this voice that's just very soothing, and I think he's a really talented artist also.
Hmm.
I think he did the Super Bowl like a couple years back, and I thought, damn, like yeah, that dude, that's it. And he's actually going to be doing I think the Weekend Maze is actually going to be at Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, for sure. Back in like a while ago, I'd say before the Super Bowl, a while back, I really wasn't a fan of the Weekend. I just maybe didn't give him enough of a chance, or I don't know what it was, but I just didn't think he was all that. But when I
I will say he is an acquired taste. He is an acquired taste. That
yeah,
is for sure. That is for sure.
I think when I took the time to listen to him, like there was one song that caught my attention, and then like when I started listening to him some more, I really enjoyed him. I was starting to kind of really dig him, and kind of like you said, like I think he's got a good blend of old and new, and I like his voice, and I think he's a great singer and everything, and he has a great way of expressing himself through art and
Mhm.
music and stuff like that too. The Super
And his
Bowl,
music videos are fucking fire.
yeah, dude.
His
There's
music
some
videos
wild,
are
yeah,
fire. They're fire, and that's one of the other reasons why I appreciate him, because there's so many times that I feel like these musicians are lazy with their videos.
hmm,
But if you watch the Weeknd's videos, they play out like a Hype Williams music video. Like Hype Williams was like the music director back in the late '90s. He directed everything from "Hate Me Now" to "Big Pimpin' to "Hypnotized" to "Victory." You know what I mean?
right,
Like, and that was the guy you went to when you want to do like a cinematic event. And
yeah,
that's what I like about the Weeknd. Like his music videos feel like a cinematic event on a
yeah.
small screen.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll take him, man. I think he's very, very talented, and he's a great musician and a great artist in general, visually and musically. So awesome, dude. All right, man. Number 6, take it or leave it. Disneyland.
Leave it.
Leave it. Not a
Leave
huge Disney fan.
I I'm not a Disney fan. Yeah, I guess not. I'm not a Disney fan. Also, I hate the fact that the mouse has become Thanos now. He's owned like Star Wars, Marvel, and 20th Century Fox now. Pretty soon
Dude,
he's gonna
he's
own.
got the gauntlet with all
Yeah,
the
he's got
Infinity
three
Stones.
stones already, dude. Next is Warner and Netflix. Watch.
Oh shit, yeah, dude.
That greedy mouse. Fuck that guy. I go to Universal Studio and I'm good. I'm going to
Yeah.
Knoxbury. Fuck it. I go to Great America. I don't give a shit. I don't. Yeah, Disney is overrated and it's overpriced. But here's the caveat: I haven't been to Disneyland since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
last time I went to Disneyland, they had the Michael Jackson hologram ride, and
Wow.
that is the only thing I remember from that experience. Other than
Okay.
the fact that my cousin had a birthday like 2 days later down the road. You know what I mean? But other than that, like I just think Disneyland is not it's not the end all be all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go to
Yeah.
Six Flags. I think for an amusement park experience, Six Flags or Universal is actually better, but you know, what do I know? I haven't gone to Disneyland,
Yeah.
so yeah, don't crucify me in the comments, okay? Leave me
All
alone.
right, man. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I've been to Disney World a few times just because it's in Florida. And I'm not too far from it. Disneyland, I went like maybe once when I was a kid. I don't remember it, but uh, I'm a Disney fan. I definitely agree that it's kind of wild that Disney owns like Star Wars and Marvel now and stuff, and it's just like become this huge thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if it took over a few other
Yeah,
companies in the coming years and whatnot, corporations and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I definitely want to go to Disneyland again and out in California, man. I think I take the kiddo out there one day.
my
But
friend says, man, you go to Disneyland, you pay $10 for a churro,
yeah,
and it's
no,
like that big.
right.
Fuck out of here, dude. You better be
Yeah.
covered in like a lot of sugar and cinnamon. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? There better be like a thick ass layer of cinnamon and sugar on that.
There you
That's
go.
something that's $2 for $10. Fuck out of here.
I think in most amusement parks you want to avoid buying food if you can, just because everything's overpriced.
So
Yeah,
overpriced. Yeah. Hell
absolutely.
yeah.
All right, man. Number 7. You already answered this, I believe, but I wanted to ask you anyways. Take or leave it. Scream 5, the newest Scream movie. What do you think?
Ooh. This was not clear cut. It's not clear cut.
Because
I,
you
I
say you like Scream, and then you mentioned it twice. Like you mentioned it again with the modern horror question. So I was like, oh, he's a big Scream 5 fan, maybe. But what do you think, man? I mean,
okay, so I'm gonna leave it.
oh, okay,
I'm gonna
interesting.
leave it. Only because yes, I gave it a good rating. I did enjoy it, but they didn't go far enough. That is my only
Okay,
issue. They didn't go far enough. 2 characters should have died. 2 prominent characters should have died, and one,
right.
I don't know. But Scream 6, we're gonna see. But again, like it's a sequel that tries to remake that, but it's also a sequel that's commentating on toxic fandoms and fandoms about like we're gonna give you content so you can remake the first one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the commentary behind that, and I think that's smart commentary. I don't think a whole lot of people picked up on it because if you see the reaction on Twitter, it says, "Oh, it's the remake of the first." But no, there's a caveat to that because there's a nuanced conversation that they're having about fandom, and they're making fun of you fans. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So I'm gonna leave it because it's not directed by Wes Craven. It's not written by Williamson, but I think Williamson is a little too old now to write for people in their 20s now. So I'm gonna leave it, honestly.
Yeah, you broke up there a little bit, but I think I heard that last bit of it. It wasn't directed by Wes Craven and everything with it. Did you like Scream 4?
Yes, I love Scream 4, and
I love Scream 4 too. I really do.
yes,
I thought Scream 4 was
too
great.
sweet right here, man. Too sweet right here. Come on, throw it up. Throw this up, man.
There you go.
There you go.
There
There
you
you go.
go.
Um,
Awesome, dude.
yeah, Scream 4. I think Scream 4 it was ahead of its time. Had that movie came out 3 years later with the same premise, it'd
Yeah.
probably be bigger, and people would have hailed it as like Wes Craven's greatest because he's like again hitting the head on pop culture. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah.
He was ahead of the curve with streaming, and I'm like, yeah, like think about that, dude.
Yeah.
Think about
It's
that.
interesting. I think the whole Scream franchise kind of has that little bit of a meta look at it, between
Mhm.
Scream 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, for sure. There's always that kind of you gotta think outside the box a little bit. I mean, and they're making fun of the structure of a horror movie or the insight of a horror movie and stuff like that, the
Yeah,
fans of a horror movie and stuff like that. And I think that's what makes the Scream franchise really great. It's also just a fun series itself. I mean, you can't go wrong with that kind of with Ghostface either. But I mean, overall, the whole franchise is pretty good. But I think 1, 2, and 4 are the best. I mean, obviously,
I agree. I agree, and I
yeah,
think 3. I think had Columbine not happened, we would have got a different version of 3
okay,
because Kevin Williamson had an outline for 3, and Stu was involved, and it was going to be a cult of kids redoing the first
uh,
murders.
okay, okay,
And so it was going to be a cult of kids of chasing Sidney Prescott and all this, and like that is such a good idea. But
yeah.
that turned out to be the following on Fox with Kevin Bacon. Like that whole first season of the
Oh
following,
yeah, yeah.
that is essentially Scream 3
Huh. Okay, I didn't know
minus
that.
the FBI agent.
Yeah, I like that first season of The Following. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
that first one was fucking
Yeah,
dope, man. Oh
I thought it was
yeah,
pretty damn good. Yeah,
yeah, that was a
uh,
really good series.
for sure, for sure. All right, dude. Yeah, we'll see about Scream 6, man. I mean, I'm happy to see it alive. I think it could have pushed the boundaries a little bit more, but we'll see. Hopefully, Scream 6 kind of pushes the envelope a little bit.
I mean, it's
So
Ghostface in Manhattan, so I mean, who doesn't
yeah,
want to see
yeah.
that?
Well, that was actually one of the biggest things I wanted to see. I wanted to see Scream kind of taken outside of I wanted to go to a different city with like a different like a
Yeah,
copycat of Ghostface in a different city. Like it's happening here, kind of deal. Like this is, I wanted to kind of go outside this like world that they keep building on and building on. I wanted to just have its own thing outside somewhere. So I think that's a great concept for sure. But all right, man. Number 8 here. Take it or leave it. Twitter.
Leave it.
Leave it.
Leave it.
Okay,
I don't even like get any engagement on my Twitter, so I'm just gonna say fucking leave it.
Yeah, dude.
That
Me
shit.
too, man.
Like
I can never.
retweet me and like me and all this shit, man. But no, man, I average 1 like. Fuck out of here, dude. No, dude. I have gold on my Twitter stream. All right. That
Yeah.
sounds really wrong. On my Twitter feed, all right.
Yeah,
I have
dude.
gold, motherfuckers, and you're not
I
gonna like
can never.
retweet me.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
I can never get into or I mean I can never I could just never find my footing with Twitter ever.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like, it's like the same stuff I post through all the other socials, but like Twitter just like nothing, dude. It's
It
like
just buries you. And it's all stressful. It's like if you ain't saying something negative, it ain't gonna trend.
Right,
That's
yeah.
the thing. Like you gotta say some bullshit to like pop up on the feed. You know what I mean?
It's
At
so
least
random.
on TikTok, I can like just sit here, eat a burrito, and I'll get like 30,000 likes.
Yeah.
With the Seinfeld theme playing in the background. Like what?
Right. Yeah. I like your TikTok videos, man. I think they're cool, dude. You're having the green screen or wherever you're at. You're just talking about whatever, dude. I think it's cool. I like watching them, man. But
Thank you.
awesome,
Appreciate it.
dude. All right. We got a couple more here and then we'll finish up. We got number 9, take it or leave it. Jazz music.
Take it. Jazz is the
Awesome.
foundation of all music. I don't care what
Absolutely.
anyone says. Jazz is the foundation for rock and roll, for blues, for hip hop. If it wasn't for jazz, we wouldn't have the genres of music that we have now because a lot of people have stolen from jazz musicians and they don't get credit for it. Jazz is all improv. There are no notes. It's just a bunch of people playing with, you know what I mean? And it's just, you know what I mean? And it's, again, jazz is an acquired taste.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a music fan, that's where it's at for you because you understand like the notes that they're hitting is like they're hitting those notes because they're trying to bring you along for the ride.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a journey, man.
Yeah, it's a journey. When you get to the very end, it's like, oh, okay, yes, like I understand that. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, if you would ask me that like maybe 10, 15 years ago, I'd probably say leave it.
Right.
But
yeah.
I'm in my like mid-30s, and I'd say take it because jazz is the foundation of all music. So definitely got to take it.
Absolutely, I agree 100%, man. A few years ago, I really started getting into jazz, and then now I'm like, I love jazz all around. I mean, I definitely agree with the foundation of music, but it's one of those things like you say, you just start listening to it, and it literally will just take you kind of with its ups and its downs, wherever that mood of the jazz is going, you go right along with it. And I love jazz can either be super smooth and low key and just like relaxing, or it can just be off the walls bananas with like different kinds of sounds and just multiple instruments and people playing together and stuff like that. And I love how sporadic and chaotic, but soothing and hits the soul at the same time. So definitely gotta take jazz, man, for sure. All right, man. The last one here, take it or leave it. UFOs or aliens.
It's interesting because I had this conversation yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a conversation with the guy that came out here to check out my car. I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Because you know what, I think we're fooling ourselves to think that we are the only living species in this universe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, UFOs don't even have to be aliens. They could just be weird shaped planes also. So, just relax. I don't want the MIB at my door. They're probably experimental government flying objects or weather balloons. You know what I mean? So, it's cool, man. I've never seen a weather balloon do this, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, and that's a whole other conversation with another podcast, man, with aliens and whatnot. But I definitely think there's too much unknown about space, the size of the the universe and surrounding galaxies and all that stuff. Like to just think that uh we're the only ones now, to think that aliens or some sort of alien life forms are kind of like, little Martians or people, like that's a whole other stretch too. I think it's got to, I don't know, I think it could be even as small as like microorganisms or something. But
So the conversation that I had with the dude yesterday, I told
yeah,
him, you know what would be fucking hilarious? He's all, what? If we were the aliens.
yeah.
If we were aliens. Like,
Yeah,
aliens don't look nothing like we think they are, like, but we are aliens. Like, we're the things that are out there.
yeah.
Real
you,
shit.
you know Yeah, honestly, I mean, people. That's the thing too. Like, I mean, they could be watching us, thinking we're like these strange
Mhm.
beings and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just a weird concept. Once you start going that rabbit hole, it could be anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely think there has to be some sort of like other kinds of life out there, whether it's the most of your imagination or none, but it's got to be something. So for sure,
Yeah.
dude. All right, man. That was Take It or Leave It. I appreciate you playing the game with me, man. That's always a great icebreaker for all of our guests and getting to know you a little bit more. But let's dive into the juice of the subject here, man, with your film career, man. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier. You're really trying to hit your stride with filmmaking and show or express your voice and everything, find your voice with the stories you're telling these days. But um, as far as like maybe some of your previous films that you've done, which I've seen a couple, a few of them, interviewing Jason and all that, all that stuff. Uh, Frank, the short film, and then and things like that. But like, and you're working on stuff now. I mean, what's kind of going on with your filmmaking career and all that?
So I had made a promise to myself to like at least film one thing 1 month, like at least once out of the month, right? And so far, I've done that. You know what I mean? I've been able to film like skits here and there that I haven't released yet, and I just haven't sat down and edit. But I've done that, and so I've been filming, I've been writing. So right now, I am working on a Freddy Krueger fan film. We
Nice.
shot the first half of it last week. We're gonna shoot the back half of it tonight, and then we're probably gonna shoot the ending next week because my lead actor is gonna go to Texas to go see the Cowboys. I'm like, why, dude? They're just gonna lose. But I digress. Any Cowboy fans out there, don't hate me, dude. But your team sucks.
Yeah.
I'm a Raider fan, so I talk that shit.
I
Um,
hear you.
but yeah, no. So we're gonna do that, and I wanted to do something with Freddy because Freddy is like one of my favorite characters, and I don't think people kind of capture what a nightmare is, and so one of the things that I'm really trying to do with this short is really play on the fact of nightmare logic. Like things don't make sense, things don't line up, things are weird. You know what I mean? Like if anyone's ever had a nightmare, you never start at the beginning of your nightmare. You always start at the middle of your nightmare. You're in the middle of something. It's you know what I mean. So that's something that I'm really gonna that I'm trying to do. But I think this sequence here, I'm really gonna play up that kind of nightmare logic, and then just kind of go on from there. And I have my ending. My ending. I just got to set up the room. But other than that, man, that's pretty much it for right now. And then I think going forward, I have another skit with my buddy Romero called Romero. I was gonna call it something else, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But this idea with Romero, and I pitched it to him, was like, yeah, we can definitely do that. So, and it's kind of a what's how do I say this? It's kind of the riff of the token black guy in a horror movie. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like
Yeah.
he's the smart one, and although all his white friends go out and they get killed, but his white friends are calling him because like he's the one that's hip to like horror and like, hey man, like do you? I found this book right here, man. Nah, dude, nah, you gotta close it, put it back. Like, yeah, but,
Nice.
you need to leave right now, dude. Click, and then it plays off on that. You know what I mean? It's like the phone
Yeah.
calls, but it's all from Romero's point of view. It's not from my point of view. So you don't. All the horror is all off screen, and he's
Okay.
our guide, like saying, "Hey, this is like you guys are stupid." You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and there's a punchline at the end, but that I won't give away. But that's another thing that I'm going to be working on. I have 4 other scripts already lined up called Till Death, Best Friends, and Paranormal. Paranormal is about a ghost hunting adventure gone wrong. Best Friends is about 2 friends that hate each other, but they hate each other, but they're best friends. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
there's this weird tense relationship between them. And then Until Death is a married couple with a secret, and yet the husband also has a secret.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting here writing these and trying to get dialogue right. Dialogue is something that I am not very good at because I don't feel like I capture other people's voices. I can capture my voice, but I don't know how it would sound like, a woman saying, "Well, what the fuck are you talking to me like that for, motherfucker?" Blah blah blah. Like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, they do talk like that, but in certain situations, like you have to build up to that. But
Yeah.
I talk like that just in normal situations, so that just wouldn't fly with an audience. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm working on 3 other scripts. I'm hoping to finish this Freddy film by the end of the month and have it up by the maybe end of September.
Nice. Awesome, man. So you're the whole process of writing and shooting and editing, is it all kind of like, I mean, do you take certain influences as far as like filming or like directing and everything like that? Or is this, or like, are you kind of going for like a certain vibe or a theme through like, more comedy and horror, like mix and everything? Or are you kind of trying to just do like different genres and different things all around and still just trying to find like what's working best for you? Like, I know like this is all still like, as much as you're growing, you're still learning and everything, but what's that process and experience like for you doing all these projects and kind of thinking towards the future?
I think I wanna make horror films. That's just something that I love that genre. I love horror movies. Like that is the genre that's kind of defined me over the years because I feel like horror you could do so much with. You can say so much with horror and you can kind of get a pass on that. You know what I mean? And so that's what I want to do. I want to scare people. That's one thing I want to do. But along the way of scaring people, I want to entertain them. I want them to be entertained, and I want them to think, okay, I see the talent. I see this guy. You know what I mean? I see the
Hmm.
film. Like I see where he's going. And yes, I do want to do something more like branch out with a different. Like I do want to film an action movie. Like I
Okay.
had did a teaser for El Hijo del Mariachi, which is like a spiritual sequel to like El Mariachi, but it's like a fan film.
Hmm.
But that one's gonna take like time and place that I don't have because I have to organize action sequences, shootouts, and stuff like that. So I have to scale that one back. I just got to figure out how. But in my horror, I do want to make you laugh. I do want to scare you, and I want to entertain you. I think that was part of the reason when I did Frank. Like, I didn't want you to know that you were watching a horror film to like the last 5 minutes. I wanted you to watch like some dude really unhinged
Yeah.
and like kind of awkwardly laugh at points and stuff like that. And I think with your other part of the question, like influences going forward, it all depends on how I see the movie playing out. You know, like with Frank, I really wanted to make it look like it was run down, found footage, and I think I tried to degrade it as much as I could and strip it of all color, and I wanted to make it look like the footage was actually found.
Yeah.
Actually have a sequel for that one that actually tells you how that footage came out. But I just haven't gotten there yet. But as far as influence go, I think of like Robert Rodriguez or Sam Raimi and just going out there and just filming it, you know? I have certain looks for certain things. Like for Till Death, I want to shoot it like a sitcom. For Best Friends, I want to shoot it like Pulp Fiction. And then for Paranormal, I want to shoot it like Ghost Adventures. Like those
Oh,
would be
cool.
like my influences. Like I'm gonna take these kind of influences and try to incorporate them into the story that I'm telling, because the story that I'm telling is supposed to turn the story that I'm referencing on its head. You
Yeah.
know, like Tarantino steals everything. Why can't I steal shit? Because I'm not known. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna steal
I'm pretty
everything.
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he even has a quote. I'm pretty sure he even has a quote out there that says like every idea is like, you know, a
Yeah.
stolen idea or something along the lines of
No
that.
idea
But
is original. And I'm like,
yeah,
you're right. No idea is original. So
yeah,
you don't mind if I take yours and make it better or make it worse. I don't
you're
know.
right.
We'll
You're right.
find out.
Well, that's cool that you like with each film you have like a certain way you want to shoot it or direct it as far as like a certain like a subcategory of a genre of you know, with whether it's ghost adventure or sitcom or something like that. Because I feel like, you know, I'm trying to branch out and stuff like that. Like right now, like my storytelling is pretty much like the same as far as directing and like the raw like uh shooting and close-ups and stuff like that. I think I need to expand a little bit as far as maybe doing a little bit of a different style of storytelling. I it over the years I finally found the way I like to direct and tell stories, but it's definitely I want to be able to kind of expand on that. And after I get done with this new movie, I want to do something a little different. I've been thinking about that for a long time. So but yeah, man, that's cool, dude. I'm happy to hear that you're at it. I'm happy to know that you're shooting even tonight and next week and whatnot, and you're getting some things done. And um all this content is going to be on your YouTube channel, like your Johnny Zuko YouTube channel, or is it there going to be
Yes,
a new channel?
it will be on the Johnny Zuko YouTube channel. It will be on the TVZ Studios channel. It'll be on my Instagram page at Johnny Zuko. So I'm gonna hoard myself out. I'm gonna make sure it's everywhere.
For sure, you got to, you got to,
Yeah,
man.
man, that's how you get
Absolutely.
found. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So to me, I'm just like, I'm gonna just post it everywhere and make sure it
yeah.
catches.
Awesome, dude. Well, we've got your YouTube channel in the link below. All the posts that we've got on here, we tag your socials and everything like that too. So, if you guys are interested in checking out any of Johnny's previous work, you can check it out through those links, and be on the lookout for his new material as well. I know you're pretty active on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that too. So, I know once I start seeing it, man, I'm gonna give it some shares, man. I love seeing you back at it, and I'm really excited to see what you do. So Johnny, I appreciate your time tonight, and thanks for hanging out with me on the show. The last question I like to ask everybody is if you have any last things you want to promote, plugins, or well, and also if you have any advice that you'd like to give for anybody out there who are doing some creative things or just things in life in general.
So the last one, advice: stop overthinking, stop hesitating. You have no excuse, none. See this? You can make a fucking film on that. You can do a short film on that. You could, if this is good enough for Steven Soderbergh and Park Bo Chen, it's good enough for you. So, also turn off your notifications. Get rid of Facebook. Get rid of all that stuff, because that's the stuff that's procrastinating you from doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to do. And you know what, man? Honestly, when I turned off Facebook and Instagram, I got shit done. So it does work. So please, if this is something that you guys want to do and interested in being a filmmaker, an actor, an actress, producer, director, an editor, take your throw your phone away and concentrate and do it. You know what I mean? If you
But
want
then
it bad
pick it up
enough,
the film.
yeah. If you want it bad enough, you're gonna do it. That's it. You know what I mean? So that's my advice. Stop overthinking, stop
Hell yeah.
procrastinating, and stop looking at your phone.
Hell
Because
yeah.
when I stop looking at my phone, I got shit done. Yeah, is my shit good? I'll leave that up to you. But the point is, I'm brave enough to put my stuff out there. So there's a difference. And then also, please, I know I sound like an asshole, but you can check out me at Zuko's Corner at TikTok. where I just shit on movies all day. No, I'm kidding. I mean, you can check me out at Zuko's Corner on TikTok, where it's basically all movies, movie reviews, lists, whatever. And then you can find me on TikTok at DBM Johnny Zuko, where I just have fun and talk shit, and that's it. And then you can find me at the Bump of the Night Podcast 1428 every other Wednesday, Cinema Space every Monday, and at RZ Live on Instagram Live next Wednesday at 5 p.m. So that'd be 7 p.m. your time. No, wait.
Awesome, dude. No, I think
Yeah.
5
Yeah,
p.m. Your 8.
Yeah, it'd be
8 p.m. Yeah.
your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. So,
Oh, you
I mean, that's pretty much it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah, no, dude, that's some great advice as far as just like you've got no excuse. I mean, honestly, like it's super cool to know that, or anybody at any level can do something. They just, if they're remotely curious or interested in doing it, and there's not really an excuse. And even like you said, it's like you can like what you do, or like looking at our art. Like, I mean, they can like it or not, but like we're doing it, we're putting ourselves out there.
Yeah.
It's like. And I tell that to people a lot where it's just like, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with it years from now or what happens with it, if it gets anywhere or not. But, I have a son now, and I like to think that at least like, even if I don't do anything like crazy, crazy successful with it, like he can look back, he can look at all my stuff and say, well, my dad tried, he did, he put his stuff out there. And, I mean, like a lot of people just don't do that, even if they are creative, and I think you hit it, right on the head there, as far as just, you got no excuse, put down some of those distractions and just, get some stuff done, get some stuff done, man. But yeah, guys, check him out on TikTok, at least Zuko's Corner. Check him out on Instagram, Johnny Zuko, Bump of the Night podcast. I got some of those links in the description below. Check him out, man. Johnny's a really, really great guy. We touched on the essence earlier. I really highly recommend going back and listening to that stuff too, just to get another side of Johnny, man. Johnny, and I appreciate you, like I said, taking the time to come out and hang out with me tonight and talking and getting everyone to know you. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what you come up with next. And dude, it would be an honor and a pleasure of mine if one day down the road we can actually link up, like meet, hang out in person, and like I'll come out to you or whatever. We just like shoot some shit all week and just like hang out and have a good time, dude. I think I want to make that a personal goal of mine and come out and see you at some point and do that.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to Nashville, so let's go. Let's do it.
All right, dude. Yeah, well, let's make it happen someday, man. Let's at least plan a weekend or something. But, dude, yeah, it's always great talking, catching up with you. I'm sure we'll keep in touch through social and all that good stuff. But, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Check us out every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. For the next Strange Films Live, check out Johnny Zuko, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.